Hey guys!
Welcome back to Plots with a Twist,
where we discuss books,
amongst other things. And today we have a book review for you guys. Another one.
Oh, look at us. So
Is
close. And today we're doing a book review. We're back with a book review. So close together, right?
Yes.
For Furia by, I'm going to say her name wrong. Yamile Saied Méndez.
Yes.
There we go. Let's get into it. All right, so that was a book that was on Reese Witherspoon's book list, right?
Yeah, it's part of her book club, actually.
Part of her book club for was that her November pick or?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe either November or October. But probably November, I think.
But yes, so it's not, I haven't seen it. That was my first time seeing it, really on her book list. And then I saw it sprinkled here and there. So I'm sure it's picking up traction. And by the time this gets posted, it'll be like, oh, that book's everywhere. Well, we're ahead of the curve, right? Hopefully. But
heard it here first.
Asia saw it. She said, go ahead and put it on hold. I said, okay. And we got it. And we did it. So we're here to talk about it. So, Furia. You gonna do the summary again?
Okay, so boom. Furia is about a young woman named Camilla Hassan. That's her last name. And she is basically a young lady. I think she's about high school age, about 17. To graduate high school, and living in the country of Argentina, right? And she is a very talented soccer player, football soccer player in her country, where they have a women's team, a newly formed women's team that she keeps from her family because it's kind of like frowned upon. I guess in Argentina, the rights of women are still being developed. So, they just have got a sports team for the women. And basically, Camilla is going through, like, the challenge of wanting to fall in love or follow her dreams, so to speak, and also dealing with some issues within her family. And we're gonna get into all those things. So that's basically it.
Look at
She's
you.
not the plan. That's the synopsis
again.
I know, right? Look at me, I'm on the road, y'all.
All right. Good job on the summary. So, what are your thoughts on it? Oh, I guess we gotta alternate again. So, thoughts on that book. So, what do we like about the book? So,
what you like?
I like that it tackled just a lot of things that maybe culturally I didn't go through but can understand. I think it also gave a sneak peek into the Argentine culture.
Argentinian.
I
think that's how you say it.
Y'all gonna correct us, right? So do it below. But just a glimpse on maybe just a different kind of perspective from a different culture. But some of those things are rampant here as well. But just having just a low, living in a deprived kind of community as well, and just having limited opportunities. And when you have an opportunity, it has to be specific towards something that's really gonna pay off, or it's not worth it. So I like that it touches on those kind of trials and tribulations, because you don't really see that on an adolescent level. I also liked just I thought it was a story you can kind of get enthralled into, because it was a lot of things going on, which I'll tackle in a minute. But I like the aspect of just kind of the focus of the main character, kind of how she has a voice, and you can kind of get behind her and rally behind her, but her circumstances might not allow her voice to be heard, but she's still using it. She's very vocal. I like that. I don't like it when you have this strong kind of protagonist laid out, but when the situations happen, they don't assert themselves. I like that she was a strong protagonist, presented as a strong protagonist, asserted herself. She was just met with brick walls and met with challenges, but she still kind of powered through. I like that aspect of it. I think it was very empowering.
For young women.
Yes, for young women.
Especially.
So I like that of it. As far as like the writing style, it did have a lot of Spanish. Was it Spanish?
Spanglish.
it did have a lot of Spanish, Spanglish in there. So listening to it, I felt like, ooh, I'm exotic. I can listen to this. But also, moments of it, I was like, what's she talking about? Yeah. But other than that, I felt like I was getting a glimpse of a teenager in Argentina and her experience, and maybe some of the hurdles she have to bear or cross to be like just normal. So I like that aspect of it.
Okay.
What did you like
So
about
for
it?
me, pretty much the same thing. I do like that Furia, or her nickname is Furia. But that's why it's called that, I think. But I did like that Furia for being such a young woman, she really knew what she wanted. And like Kristen said, a lot of the time what she was being met with, just challenges and just people who just didn't share the same mind as her or views. She powered through those moments instead of kind of being passive or dealing with it another way. Like, she persevered. And so that was really cool. Also, I just like there's like a love story in it. Y'all know I'm a sucker for love, low key. Did y'all know that about me?
No, because you got an icebox.
Cause oh yeah, my heart. That's because I don't cry sometimes at stuff. That's Kristen crybaby. But but yeah, I did like the romantic part of it, just like young love, like little puppy love, and her getting to know, kind of like falling in love for the first time, I think, for her. Wait, is that a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
And just some of the aspects of like navigating love versus your dreams.
Like, yeah, exactly. Navigating love versus like what you want to do with your life, or I think as women, like for most women anyway, we all face that, like, ooh, I want to follow this boy, or do I want to do like, you kind of give up your whole little life for a man or something, or a woman or a partner, whatever. And then I feel like Furia was faced with that similar situation, so it was nice to see that in a book for a young woman. What else did I like? Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the book overall, but specifically, I just like that Furia. Yeah, she was just a strong woman, and she was young,
Right.
And I feel like a lot of girls her age are not as determined, or, and I'm not gonna say a lot, but just as a,
well, at that age it is difficult because you
difficult.
have influence, and you're more easily influenced than maybe someone a little bit more mature.
Right. And Furia wasn't going for any of it, and I really admired that. So, and not in a like a, oh, I'm a strong independent type of way. It was like she was figuring things out, but
right.
Like she she made the right choices, so to speak, I feel like.
All right, so let's talk about some things we didn't like.
Yes.
So like I said, we audiobooked it. So this is just a little thing. So the narrator, she was a little green. So once the book started going, she got into the flow, got into the groove. But starting out, it sounded like, how you go to a book reading and someone like never did book readings, and you can kind of hear like the nervousness in their voice, or it just sounds like they're reading. Versus maybe some other narrations that sounds a little bit more fluid. That kind of put me off in the beginning, because I was like, I can't get into it because she's not into it. But then once she started to get her groove, you can kind of tell. And then you started to kind of get into it. So that was just a little thing. So just be warned that the narration, if you do the audiobook, it may be a little bit of a challenge in the beginning.
But stick with it.
She gets it going. Other than that, what I didn't like, so there was just different aspects of the plot that I didn't like, as far as the situations that Furia or Camille was in, and just how they played out. So it was more so like situations with her families, and I understood where it was coming from and why it was an aspect of the story, but it just didn't really seem to have any real firm basis to really get you there as a reader to be like, why is this a dynamic? I don't think enough insight on the background of maybe their family history was given, so you can kind of connect the dots between why is this person acting this way towards her, or saying these things towards her, or why is this their family dynamic? I mean, it's bits and pieces throughout the story, but just not enough for me, at least, to really understand maybe just how their family got to where they're still a family unit, because there's a lot of challenges within their family, and it's like, this should have been dismantled years ago, but that's neither here nor there. So that's one thing I didn't really like. Other than that, I just didn't like how people kind of treated her, even when she tried to like assert herself in situations and explain herself in situations. I feel like people weren't meeting her halfway, so it made her those challenges that much harder when they didn't have to be. I know, again, it's about like creating some layers, creating some things that the character has to work through, but I felt like some of the hiccups that she faced were a little excessive or unnecessary. Just the way the flow of the conversation with, like, she was having a conversation maybe with an adult, and the adult kind of reacted a certain way that you would think she might have been reacting. Like, it was just the dynamic of the situations. I understand, like, from a teen perspective, you're supposed to be like, oh, this person isn't level-headed, this person isn't thinking through things, or she's approaching it from a, like, immature way. But I felt like Furia was the mature person in a situation where she was talking to an adult. So it's like, I don't know. That kind of threw me off too. But other than that, and I also felt like it was just, I said this to Asia, pick a poison. Pick a poison. It was a lot of issues brought up as far as her culture, as far as just women's rights, as far as things surrounding football, as far as things surrounding relationships, as far as things surrounding family. And those are great aspects, but I think it started to go down one road and then it stopped, and then it started to go down this road and then it stopped, and then it started to go down this road. So it's kind of like, I don't know.
I can see that.
So I don't know.
Story.
Those are just little things.
What didn't I like? Same things. No. So just besides, like Kristen said, besides the author, just picking different issues, having a bunch of like social issues in the book and like going in different directions, like Kristen said, and not really completing any of them. That was a little something. But besides that, I don't think there was anything I really didn't like about this book outside of like the actual like characters. And I really didn't like how her family treated her, Furia. Her family treated her mother, brother, and sister trash. Throw them all away. I mean, her mother, brother, and father. Her mother, brother, and father. All trash. But I also understand, like, why they were trash a little bit, you know? I didn't like how her friend handled her sometimes, either. She was a little much for me. And I also, like Kristen said, like, I wish she would have went more into, like, a background of just, like, I guess not so much of their relationship, but a little bit, or more so...
just a pair or something so you can understand maybe like the growth or the progression of how they got to this point. Like parts of it was there. Like you don't, she's not just a random person.
No.
But it's just like,
I think as readers we just expected, we're wanting a little bit more.
Right, it's a young adult book.
So I think that's what it was. But other than that, I felt like, the only other things that I liked outside of the actual characters were, some of the characters, I mean, were, the hodgepodge of, like, social issues, like, within the book.
And I get it, because, I mean, that's
that's
part
life,
of that culture, you know? And it's life.
But,
really, it's part of a lot of cultures, but specifically for the theme of the book, I get why certain aspects of it was brought up, but it's kind of like, it was just a lot thrown her way, and not really, yes, it impacted how she moved, but it wasn't really her fight in some of them. So it's kind of like, I understand you creating that as an element of how she is the way she is, but it just didn't really seem to have a firm like conclusion or basis along her journey, because ultimately it was about her being determined about her dreams. So because it brought up like things about just them fighting up for women's rights, but she wasn't involved in that. Her friend was kind of, and she supported it, but it wasn't really something she kind of, that was involved in her day.
I think she was only not involved because she couldn't be, really. But she definitely believed in those things. but wasn't really involved. So yeah.
So it's just little things like that they're nice to know about her, but they weren't the basis of her as a person. They were just involved in her, like, maybe mental and her ecosystem, perhaps, but it wasn't really to the benefit of the reader to understand that. For me, I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking. I don't know. Anyway, what would you rate the book?
5 stars. I know. I think I gave 5 stars, if not 4. I can't never remember when we get to this part of the video, but 4.5, 4.5, because I really enjoyed it. It wasn't too much. Wasn't too much bad I could say about it. And I'm not sure if this is like this author's first book or anything like that. So if it's her first book,
I'd be autobiographical. So
yeah, I'd be interested to see like what else she comes out with off of this one. So I wouldn't run to it, but I pick it up.
I give it like a solid 4. Yeah, because it wasn't quite a 5 for me. It was good, and it was better than some of the stuff I would rate like a 3, but it wasn't as good as some of the stuff I would rate a 5. So I think it will be like a solid 4, because I think it's a really empowering story for young women.
Yes, I do too.
I think it's a really just engaging story. You really want to know what happens with her and kind of the decisions she makes and how she turns out. The end was kind of like a little bit
you felt like it could have been
it could have been a little bit more developed, because you really got the resolution in the epilogue, when I feel like you should have got it at the end of the story. So overall, I would give it a 4.
Okay.
Solid 4.
Critic, y'all.
I'm not that harsh, because I feel like
I get it. It was good, but it wasn't like
so think about, like,
it wasn't bad.
We gave Vanish in Half a 5. It was not Vanish in Half level. I'm sorry.
I know when I gave it a 5. I just felt like it was just
but it was good. It was good. I would rate it definitely a lot higher than some of the books I've read this year. So 4. All right. Would you recommend this book?
Yes, I would recommend it, especially to young women. Or even not even young women. I would give it to my nephews to read as young men, just like on
do right.
Yeah, do right by women and follow your dreams. Don't chase love. Yeah, I would recommend to anybody young, just so they can know that it's okay to like go after what you want. You don't have to worry about settling down or like, you got time for that. Remember how your mom used to tell you like, oh, the boys, they're gonna be there. It's like, no, really, they're gonna be there. Go ahead and do what you need to do, and then get back to them. So, yeah.
Just like, yes. I would recommend it as well. Like I said, I mean, there was aspects of it that may make it not as easy to follow, but I think it was still something I would recommend, and just kind of warn, like, hey, it might be a little bit of it that you kind of gotta navigate through, but for the most part, like, it's easy to follow. So, all right. I think, is that everything? Yes,
you did it. So like this video, comment, subscribe, let us know what you thought, if you guys have read the book, and if you have read it and you know something that's like it and maybe a little bit better, not even better, but you know something similar, suggest it to us.
It can't be better because you said it's 5.
I know, but I like to give stuff 5 stars.
You're leading with your heart
and not my head. Yeah.
All right. Well, we will be back next time. Bye.